What's up, boys and girls? Lundrick back again with another rebooking, and this time rebooting WrestleMania 11, the worst WrestleMania of all time, as I'm sure you all know. So yeah, I'm back doing this. The other ones I'm committed to doing are WrestleMania 13, WrestleMania 18, and WrestleMania 27. WrestleMania 22 was suggested to me, but to be honest, with the circumstances and that, I wouldn't change that much. That'll be one of those WrestleManias where I will just tweak the odd match and that. But any other suggestions, pop them in the comment section below and I'll think about them. So yeah, WrestleMania 11, by far the worst WrestleMania of all time. Of course, this took place in 1995, which the worst year of all time, to be honest. Yeah, it was absolutely awful in every way you could think of, including this. Just a poor WrestleMania. But believe it or not, though, this wasn't the worst pay-per-view of the year. King of the Ring was. So let's just look at the actual card. Got a main event of Bam Bam Bigelow versus Lawrence Taylor, Diesel versus Shawn Michaels for the WWF title, Bret Hart versus Bob Backlund in an I Quit match, Razor Ramon versus Jeff Jarrett for the Intercontinental title, Owen Hart and a mystery partner who turned out to be Yokozuna against the Smoke Guns. What else we got here? Undertaker versus King Kong Bundy, and the Allied Powers, Lex Luger and the British Bulldog against the Blue Brothers. Yes, that was your WrestleMania card. I swear to God that's true. And just imagine for a moment if WWE put on a card as bad as this today. My word, the IWC would go on meltdown, wouldn't it? So yeah, I've had to go over rebooking the card because it's absolutely awful. In WWE's defense, though, this was actually a difficult card to reboot because the roster was that bad at the time. So it was quite difficult to come up with a decent card. But this is what I've come up with. So here we go. With the opening match for the tag team titles, the Smoking Guns defending against 1, 2, 3 Kid and Bob Holly. I really like the 1, 2, 3 Kid Bob Holly tag team. If you remember, there was a tag team title tournament after Diesel and Shawn Michaels broke up. The Smoking Guns were supposed to be in that. One of them got injured. I can't remember who it was. Could have been Bart. Then 1, 2, 3 Kid and Bob Holly was a makeshift tag team that took the places. Got to the final and then, in a major upset, beat Bam Bam Bigelow into Tanker. So Kid and Holly had like the Cinderella tag team, the underdog tag team story going on. Then the next night on Raw, they lose the tag belts to the Smoking Guns, which that happened. So the way I would do it is, the Smoking Guns obviously win the tag team titles the night after the Royal Rumble. Kid and Holly ask for a rematch. The Smoking Guns get a bit cocky, saying why they defend the tag titles against losers like them. Slowly have the Guns turn heel, mocking Kid and Holly, saying the only reason they won the tag team titles is because they got injured and couldn't compete. The losers and nobodies. Have the Smoking Guns slowly turn into arrogant cowboys. I think that would be pretty good. So then Kid and Holly, well, let's just say Kid against Billy on Monday Night Raw, and then in a one-on-one match, a Kid pins Holly. That pisses the Guns off. The Guns beat down the 1, 2, 3 Kid. Holly makes a save. So then eventually on Raw there's a non-title match where if Kid and Holly can beat the Guns, they'll get a tag shot at WrestleMania. And of course Kid and Holly beat the Guns there. So then we get this match at WrestleMania. This will probably be a pretty good match to open up the show. Give them 10 to 12 minutes, just have a nice wrestling match. Guns over as heels. So yeah, and have the Guns retain the titles here, because I didn't think Holly and Kid should win the titles in long term. But even after this, you could later have Kid and Holly split up and feud with each other later down the line. So yeah, open the match, Smoking Guns defeat 1, 2, 3 Kid and Bob Holly. Match number 2 for the Intercontinental titles, Razor Ramon versus Jeff Jarrett. One of the two matches on the card, I'll keep exactly the same. Had no complaints of this at all. This is actually the only good thing on the undercard all night. Have the build up exactly the same. Jeff beats Razor for the Intercontinental title at the Royal Rumble. This is a big rematch. And yeah, pretty much everything exactly the same. They had a good match in real life, so they would probably have a good match here as well. And I did think about having Razor win the Intercontinental title back, but then I looked down the card, and the card's quite babyface. A lot of babyfaces win on this night, so I'll have Jarrett retain by cheating like he did, just to get more heat on Jeff, and possibly have Razor win the belt back down the line. You've always got that option. Now, match number 3 is a tag team match. The Allied Powers, British Bulldog and Lex Luger, against the $1 Million Corporation members, Tatanka and IRS. This is pretty much blown off the Luger $1 Million Corporation feud that started in the summer of '94. Luger and Tatanka. And then around this time, Luger and Bulldog started teaming up. For some reason, when I was a kid, I liked the Allied Powers. Probably because I was a big Bulldog fan, so actually being paired up with Bulldog made me like Luger a little bit. I wouldn't say I liked him a lot, just liked him a little bit more than I did before. I thought they were I thought they were a good team for the time, actually. It was just a shame the tag division was so bad at the time. So yeah, I basically put Tatanka and IRS together because out the $1 Million Corporation guys, apart from Tatanka, obviously you put Tatanka in there because of the feud of Luger, and just IRS was probably the best worker of them. Like, better than Bundy, Kammer, Nikolai Volkov, all them people. So yeah, just let them have a decent... I don't know how good the match would be. It might be decent, it might not be. Give them about 7-8 minutes to work with. Doesn't need to be a long match. And as for the finish, and I'm going for interesting finish here. The British Bulldog turns on Lex Luger in the middle of the match, and then making sure the $1 Million Corporation get the victory. So then Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, sells out with the $1 Million Man, turning heel months before he actually did, and then being with DiBiase and not Jim Cornette. I just thought that would have been although he was fine and being managed by Jim Cornette, I think it would have been better if he'd turned on Luger earlier and sold out the $1 Million Corporation. So yeah, Bulldog leaves WrestleMania 11 as a heel, going with the $1 Million Corporation, costing his partner Lex Luger the match. But then Bulldog goes off and gets a push throughout 1995. If it was up to me, I would have had him won the title at SummerSlam as well. But we're getting ahead of ourselves there. Right, match number 4. What we got now? Right, one of the big matches on the card. The Undertaker versus Bam Bam Bigelow, with Lawrence Taylor as a special enforcer. That's right, I've kept Lawrence Taylor on the show, but in a non-wrestling role, which is where I think it needed to be. I just think Lawrence Taylor in the main event just wasn't that good at all. The match was boring, and I just think he'd be better used as an outside enforcer like Mike Tyson was at WrestleMania 14. And obviously the Undertaker was in the big feud of the $1 Million Corporation at the time. Ended up wrestling King Kong Bundy on this show, that was one of the worst streak matches ever. And Undertaker and Bam Bam, I thought they could have had a good big man match. So the way I would have built this up, Bam Bam Bigelow shoves down Lawrence Taylor to Royal Rumble 95 like he did. The Undertaker carries on feud of the $1 Million Corporation. DiBiase sets Bam Bam Bigelow onto him. Perhaps Bigelow really beats him down in an episode of Raw. So then the match is announced. But then Jack Tunney points out that the $1 Million Corporation are probably going to try and interfere in this match and cost everyone the match. So to ensure nothing bad will happen, he's going to appoint a special enforcer for that match. And that man being Lawrence Taylor, of course, which would piss Bam Bam Bigelow off, because he would realise that Lawrence Taylor was probably going to try and screw him. They just have the build-up like that with Lawrence Taylor. But obviously, I don't have him overshadow the match, just have him be part of the match. So then we get Undertaker, Bam Bam Bigelow. Give them 10 to 12 minutes. I'm sure they have a decent big man match. Hell of a lot better than most of the shite the Undertaker was doing with King Kong Bundy, Kammer and Mabel that year. Mabel was a big part of 1995, wasn't he, bastard? So yeah, Taker and Bam Bam have the little match. The Undertaker obviously beats Bam Bam Bigelow because the streak ain't going to end here, folks. But the Undertaker pins Bam Bam Bigelow, gets his hand raised by Lawrence Taylor. Now Taker and Taylor, that's a weird two names to put together. So Taker and Taylor leave the ring, and then Bam Bam's getting berated in the ring by Ted DiBiase. DiBiase can even slap Bam Bam. Bam Bam puts his hands on DiBiase. Then members of the corporation, say Bundy, Kammer and Nikolai, hit the ring, beat down Bigelow, first turning him babyface. Then the Undertaker and Lawrence Taylor come back to the ring, clean house, save Bam Bam Bigelow from a beating, and then all three are in the ring together, and this signifies Bam Bam's face turn, which happened not long after this. I think it would have been a good idea to have it happen at WrestleMania. Undertaker can show respect to Bam Bam for giving him a great battle, and then after that they can just have continue the Undertaker $1 Million Corporation feud, but then having Bam Bam Bigelow as an ally. Obviously Lawrence Taylor disappears after this and never seen again, which is exactly what happened in real life. Now, another big match on the card, a match that really should have happened, and a match that I'm absolutely pissed off that never happened. The final showdown, no holds barred, brother versus brother, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. Now, I thought about having this match for the WWF title, but then I decided not to be biased and grudgingly accept that Shawn and Diesel for the title was probably the right way to go. Obviously, this is basically just the final blow for the epic rivalry of 1994. I thought the Bret Hart Bob Backlund match was probably the worst pay-per-view match Bret Hart ever had in the WWF. I mean, if you haven't seen it before, watch it and you'll see what I mean. And if you have seen it, I'm sure the majority of you will agree with me on that. It really was a bad match. And yeah, so yeah, just have after some time on Raw, Bret saying this needs to stop. I'm sick of this bullshit I'm going through. Oh, I'd not say bullshit, but sick of all this crap I'm going through with Owen. That's it, Owen. I'm challenging you to WrestleMania. We need to settle this score once and for all. Me and you, no holds barred. Owen Hart accepts the challenge. They interfere in each other's matches, cut promos on each other, that sort of thing. Pretty basic build-up. But then we get to the match. Remember that? Because he had a no holds barred match on Raw, the Raw before WrestleMania, which was a damn good match actually, but it only went about 12-13 minutes, so you have this match on the biggest stage of them all, WrestleMania. Give them 20-25 minutes, if that's what it takes. Just let the Hart Boys go out, tear the house down. I mean, they had a 5-star match at WrestleMania 10, a 5-star cage match at SummerSlam 94, so who's to say that they wouldn't have another 5-star match here? Just have one more 5-star match to end the show. Just let them tear the house down. This match would definitely steal the show. Would be the best match of the night. Probably would have been match of the year of 1995 as well if it happened. And obviously, since it's the end of the feud, let the babyface Bret go over, have him beat his brother Owen, end the feud. This would be a great match in my opinion. Now, a little buffer match before the main event. Someone returned on this show, didn't he? And that was Yokozuna as a tag team partner of Owen Hart. I would basically just have him return the show as a singles wrestler. Have little videos in the build-up to WrestleMania, hyping up the return of Yokozuna, the mighty Yokozuna. Say he's coming back bigger and stronger, better than ever. And his opponent could be Fatu. I'm not sure if the Head Shrinkers were broke up by this time. They were at the Royal Rumble 95. But I don't remember them doing a lot after this. But I do know the Fatu was still under contract because he came back late that year as a trying to make a difference Fatu. Do you remember that? That was a really lame gimmick, wasn't it? So yeah, just hype up Yokozuna's return like it's a big deal. Yokozuna comes out, pretty much destroys Fatu in like 3-4 minutes. Just a squash match to get Yokozuna back over. Not a whole lot to say about it really. Obviously Yokozuna defeats Fatu in a more or less of a squash match. So yeah. Now the main event for the WWF Championship, Shawn Michaels versus Diesel. This match I would keep exactly the same, with one major difference. This would actually be in the headline main event spot, because that's where it really should have been. And yeah, not much to change about the build-up. Of course, Diesel won the title in November '94. Shawn Michaels won the Royal Rumble, starting from number 1. Then you have this match, and then obviously you've got the whole backstory of Diesel being Shawn's bodyguard for years, and then turning on Shawn to become champion. Now Shawn Michaels will want to become WWF champion. Also in the build-up we had Sid as his new bodyguard, which I would do that exactly the same as well. So yeah, and then like I say, only difference is the headline spot. Give these 20-25 minutes to work with. I mean, for some reason I heard that this match was actually match of the year in PWI, which shows how seriously you can take PWI awards. I mean, it was a good match, a very good match actually, but nowhere near match of the year of 1995. There was far better matches than this. But I just hope if they were in the main event headline spot that they would probably have a better match than they did. That's just hoping though. Yeah, just pretty much same result as well. Diesel going over to retain the championship with the jackknife powerbomb. I thought possibly letting Shawn win, but then you've got to realise Shawn not winning gave the WWF like a whole year to build up Shawn for WrestleMania 12, which is definitely the right move in the long run, because Shawn Michaels winning at WrestleMania 12 over Bret Hart was a much bigger deal than Shawn Michaels as a heel beating Diesel would have been here. So yeah. And also one thing I would change is Shawn wouldn't turn babyface the next night. They would actually have a rematch headline the first In Your House. Then Shawn would turn after that. So Diesel beats Shawn Michaels to retain the WWF Championship, and that concludes WrestleMania 11. I'm pretty confident this will be a fairly decent card for the standards of the time. Not a great card because the roster wasn't all that good, but I'm quite satisfied with the results of here, so yeah. So comment below if you like this, what you'd like, what you didn't like, what you'd change, all that sort of thing. And of course, any other WrestleMania requests, post them in the comment below as well. So I'm out for now, and the next one of these I'm going to do is WrestleMania 13, which will be posted sometime next week. I'm out for now, and peace.